What's going on, Clash Bashers? Rocky here today, and today we're going to be talking all about Yeti Smash. We're going to talk about why this attack works, how it works, and showing it off because we had some nice Yeti Smash triples in our CWL. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. We did not do so hot. We didn't get promoted. We stayed in Champions League 2. We did actually end up beating the #1 clan in that last war, so we finished in 3rd place with 262 stars. But you see, one of our issues, and it's kind of always been an issue, is our percent. It looked like everyone around us, our percent is way lower than everyone else. It's way lower than it should be. So that's something we got to work on as a clan. But like I said, we're going to talk about Yeti Smash, show that off here today. Here is the score from the last war, 32-31, beating that #1 clan, which is kind of funny and ironic, but it's whatever, guys. It's whatever. We'll bounce back next month and hopefully be in the run-in to get promoted. So we're going to hop right into it. We're going to talk Yetis today. Hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about the Yeti Smash, why to use the Warden Walk, and all that kind of stuff. But before we do, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like. And most importantly, don't forget to use code RASH. Oh, it makes me feel so good inside. Go to your settings, your more settings, go to the bottom, and enter code BASH. Remember, you got to enter that every 7 days. And then let's go with today's comment keyword of the day. Let's just go with Yeti. Throw Yetis down there in the comments, and I'll go through and try to heart a bunch of you guys. And then, speaking of comment keyword of the day, let me go ahead and shout out a few of you guys from yesterday's video as well. You guys always crushing it with the comment keyword of the day. So let me go ahead, let's pull up our first replay and let's talk about it. All right, so what is Yeti Smash? I'm sure you guys have heard that term before. Maybe you don't know what Yeti Smash actually is, or maybe you do and you just don't really understand what it's all about. Yeti Smash is Yetis with some bowlers and then like a little bit of a hero walk. It's usually going to be a Warden Walk a lot of times, but you will see from time to time a Queen Walk. And the benefit of a Warden Walk is you're able to control him a lot easier. So we'll kind of see that in these attacks where the Warden Walk is able to be controlled and then he's able to pull in with the Yeti. So for this first attack here, we got Skye coming in, and a lot of times you'll see anywhere from 5 to 7 Yetis, even sometimes a little bit less. And then anywhere from like 6 to 12 bowlers, usually 6 to like 10 or 11 bowlers. And then you'll see either a double jump, one jump, and an earthquake, or the double jump like I kind of mentioned before. But you'll see Skye here with the quad quake here with the jump, and the quad quake is just going to open up the middle of the base, which we'll see here. So Skye also brings an Electro Dragon, which is kind of unconventional. You don't see that a ton, but he gets really good value out of the Electro Dragon. So the biggest thing with the Yeti Smash is all about the opening funnel. You want to be able to funnel to start off. So what he's going to do is he's going to put his E-Drag here. The E-Drag's going to clear out work here, and then he's going to work his Warden Walk to clear out some of these buildings, and then he'll run his Siege Barracks along this side to kind of clear out this funnel, and then he's just going to enter right into the middle of the base, and then he'll Quad Quake open everything through the back end of the base. So we'll kind of explain that as we go here. We're going to break down some of these attacks, show you guys these Yeti Smashes. So right here, the Warden Walk's going to go in, and then what he does is he throws in one balloon. The one balloon is going to check for any seeking air mines to protect the healers. Same thing with the one balloon for the Electro Dragon. And like I said, you'll see this Electro Dragon get some nice chain and set this funnel over here. Meanwhile, the Warden's going to set the funnel over on this back side, and he's going to have a nice funnel set up. Now, one thing you want to be careful with is like around this perimeter here. Sometimes things could be a little bit dicey, so you want to make sure you bring your troops in away from that, so they're going to push up into the middle of the base. So we see a nice funnel set here. We're going to have all the Yetis go in, all the bowlers go in, King and Queen up the middle. Now, a lot of times with this, you're going to save your Royal Champion. Skye comes in, and he does this really kind of unique. I kind of like the way he does this with this Siege Barracks. He brings his Siege Barracks in, like usually as he's starting his dive into the core, which is going to bring his hogs out of the Siege Barracks a little bit later. Now, as far as Clan Castle, you can use like a Siege Barracks with hogs. I've seen Siege Barracks with Yetis in it. Maybe there's not really good value like along the side for hogs, so you bring Yetis to help like clear in out on that side. And then I've also seen like a Yeti bomb, but it seems like the Siege Barracks with hogs is kind of working its way back into the meta, and the value you get out of a Siege Barracks is kind of what makes it worth it. So you see right here, at this point, he's got everything established. He's got the jump in, he's got the quake to open up the back end of the base, so he's just going to send everything right up the middle. He's going to rage early. That way those troops are going to go right up the middle. Now you do see that tornado trap holding everything up. He's going to hit the Warden ability here. as that eagle shot's coming in, that Town Hall is kind of working on things. Now, that's one thing you got to be careful with, is your Warden ability. He kind of gets saved by the Ice Golem here. You'll see the Ice Golem will freeze the bowlers, but if your bowlers get in range of the Giga Bomb when it blows up, they're going to get taken out. The bowlers will get taken down by that Giga Bomb. So that's something you got to be aware of. But the Ice Golem's actually going to freeze everything and keep everything back from that Giga Bomb explosion, which is really, really nice. And then from there, he's got a huge path through the base. You see the P.E.K.K.A. with the wizards on that side. And then as soon as those hogs come out here, you see what he did? As soon as the hogs are coming out of the barracks, he supports them with the Royal Champion. So what the hogs are going to do is they're going to obviously target defenses, but they're also going to be able to tank a little bit for the Royal Champion. And then the heal spell a lot of times is going to be for the hog portion of the raid. So let's keep this moving, keep it going. Rage spell up the center of the base. We got the hogs coming in, and they're going to work around the top side of the base with that Royal Champion. And that's what makes that siege barracks really valuable. Those hogs with the Royal Champion coming around the back end of the base, a lot of times that makes or breaks the attack. And you see here, we got plenty of Yetis in the middle, we got the bowlers working, and that Royal Champion working along the top side with those hogs to clear this out. So I really wanted to break this first one down, show you guys why it was so successful. A really good funnel setup, really good patience on the Royal Champion to put her in with the hogs, and then everything else just goes through and clears out. Still has the Queen's ability, still has plenty of troops for cleanup, and like once you identify spots that need cleanup, like there's storage up here, you gotta get your wizards in or any extra cleanup troops, because you do not want to time fill because you had 5 storages up top. So make sure you get that cleanup in as soon as possible. Identify like the range on the cannons and that kind of stuff. But a very nice attack by Skye. He's been crushing it with the Yeti Smash. So I definitely want to break this one down for you. A little bit unconventional with the E-Drag funnel, but it works out a lot of times for him. Like, he has been smashing it. So let's go ahead and check out our next Yeti Smash. All right, guys, we're going to check out this attack from Kload next. He's got 7 Yetis in here, 6 bowlers, so a little bit heavier on the Yetis. But again, going to quad quake open the middle of this base here. That way, he has nice access. The nice thing about the quad quake is you can do it early enough so you don't have to worry about it mid-raid. Like, you can start off the raid. Now, you do want to be aware sometimes you're going to activate that Town Hall, and that could be a pain, but if you can get that out of the way like he does here, he doesn't have to worry about, you know, fumbling through his spells and getting that earthquake down mid-raid. So what he's going to do here is he's going to use some balloons and the baby dragons just to help the warden out a little bit, but you need to be careful when you do this. As you see here, that warden's actually going to follow the balloons a little bit here. Instead of starting off with the warden walk, he's going to follow the balloons, but eventually the balloons will get taken out and he'll start with the warden walk over here. And he's going to use his king and siege barracks to funnel the opposite side. Like I said, this attack is all about funnels. So what he wants to do is he wants to clear all this out. He wants to get a nice path up here, and then he's going to jump right in the middle here and then work right through the center of the base. So all the Yetis are going to go in at this point. They really only have one way to go, which is going to be right into the middle of the base. You got to be careful of like stuff like this that could pull your troops to the outside, but he did a good job clearing this top side. Warden ability comes in right here. Possibly a little bit early on that warden ability, but I understand why he did it with that Town Hall activated and everything coming out. But you notice that warden, or the Giga Bomb from the Town Hall, does quite a bit of damage. And then again, the hogs out of the siege barracks, I know we kind of missed it here, but hogs out of the siege barracks supported with the Royal Champion here, and I don't think he actually brought a heal for it, which is kind of becoming a new thing also, where you're not really supporting the hogs with the heal. You're just kind of letting them get as much value out, because it's still 9 hogs. I mean, 9 hogs is quite a bit, but look at this. He's got a good push through the middle of the base. The Yeti's all working through. The Royal Champion's going to come sweep through the backside here. That Royal Champion, man, with the 9 hogs almost tanking for her, she can get some insane value. I've seen the Royal Champion single-handedly win some raids, get the 3 stars on some of these raids. You see the back-end balloons coming here on that Archer Tower. Very nice play right there. And then he's still got his Queen, he's still got his Royal Champion, and there's not too much up here. So a really well-executed attack here by Kload. A really great job setting the funnel and getting everything through. Now, what I'm going to do with our next attack is I'm going to show you guys my attack from the last war, which I actually streamed last night. But I want to show you guys, it failed. It did not 3-star, but I want to show you one of the things that I think went wrong on that attack, because I was able to identify it, and I want to show you, that way you guys can kind of understand when things don't go right with the Yeti Smash, because it's always easy. Like, who doesn't like seeing 3 stars? It's always easy to see a 3-star and be like, oh yeah, that looks nice. But going out there and like executing it or seeing what went wrong on an attack, that's something completely different. So I'm going to show you guys my miss, because I feel like I identified where I went wrong and what could have been improved on my attack. So nice attack there from Kalo. Let's go ahead and check out my fail from the last war. All right, guys, so this was my attack in the last war, and I think I identified where this one went wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ward and walk out right here. We're going to use the king with 3 witches right here, and then the siege barracks over here to kind of funnel out all this stuff, and then jump right into the middle of the base, and then jump through the center. But you'll notice some of my troops walk, and we'll talk about why I think they walk here. And that's part of this attack, is learning the timing, being patient, not rushing things. And I think that's exactly what I did here, was I rushed things a little bit. So you see, I throw that 1 balloon in there as a Coco loon, but I also want to get that cannon down just to help my warden out just a little bit here. Whenever you can help the warden out, it's always going to be a good thing. Now, I'm nice and patient. I don't want my warden pulling off to the side with the balloons, so that's why I was just dropping in 1 balloon at a time. We're going to throw the king in here with the witches just to clear out, and then I think I made a mistake here. I thought that my funnel was fine over here, so I started like the king and the witches and then the siege barracks, but I started them a little bit early, I think. I think I rushed this attack, and that's what went sideways. So I start a decent funnel, and it goes all right, but what happens here is the king essentially gets that cannon out. So at this point, I have all this out, so I have the path up into the middle of the base that I want. However, I think that was the incorrect play here. I think I rushed the warden walk here a little bit, and that's what cost me. So what I do is I throw the Yetis in, and if you don't know, if you put just like a couple of Yetis, really like 1, I think, Yeti should pull the warden with it, just like on the edge of his radius, it'll pull through. But I put them all in there, and then you notice the warden's going to go ahead and pull over with them. Now, the mistake here is, what I should have done is I should have waited a little bit on my king. I should have waited a little bit on that barracks over here, because I should have let the warden get these 2 buildings out. This wizard tower and this archer tower right here are going to be a problem, and you'll see that develop a little bit later in the attack. And also, like, the timing on my siege barracks is a little bit off. So right here is where the issue happens. The queen is actually going to pull to the outside with the bowlers. So right there, me not letting the warden walk out those 2 buildings and set a better funnel, I rushed my warden walk, I rushed my funnel, is going to cost me the raid, or at least cost me a good shot at the triple. Not saying this would have 3-starred for sure if I would have done that, but I think it would have had a better shot if we have all of the bowlers, the queen, all up the middle of the attack with everything else. So that one hurts. The queen and bowlers are going to go walking on me. I couldn't get my warden ability pop for whatever reason, so I was really late on that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the hogs come in here with the royal champion, again supported with a heal spell here. I like the 3 witches in there to help with the funnel with the king. The 3 witches in the king funnel, it works out pretty nicely, and that's something that Rigo Torres, I saw him doing, and I've been experimenting with it, and it's actually been really strong. I've enjoyed that quite a bit. But once everything walked on me and I missed my warden ability, everything went sideways on this attack. But like I said, I think it's important to show fails also. Like, anyone could go show 3-star after 3-star after 3-star, but break down a fail, show me why it failed, and talk about why it failed. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that enough. So in my opinion, if we funnel these 2 buildings here, it helps the queen and the bowlers go up into the base. But that's what this base is designed to do. That's why those 2 buildings are there, because this little alleyway, the queen can pop right back out and go around just like mine did here. So you want to be aware of that. You got to be careful of things like that on bases. These bases are built like this for a reason. That way these troops, you know, could potentially push out. The heroes could potentially push out. You gotta read that stuff, and I did not do a good job here, and it probably cost me a shot at the 3-star. Like I said, not saying I would have 3-starred, but I didn't give myself a chance to 3-star on that attack. All right, guys, so this last war, we had a couple triples, but if you notice here, we were down on percent on attacks. That's it's our weak suit right now, is our percentage. So we actually had Kalo come in. He got a minor triple there, but at that point, we were even on stars as far as 3-stars, and then a little bit later, TC came in, and this is what clutched us the war. He comes in with a Yeti Smash again. Like I said, we're going to focus on the Yeti Smash. Now, Yeti Bats, that's a completely different attack. And honestly, that's not something we use a ton. It's something we should probably look at, because a lot of these bases can probably be Yeti batted, but it's something we should look at. So what he does here is he brings in a super wall breaker. He actually brings 2, just as like a kind of a security blanket in case for whatever reason that one doesn't get there. He brings 2 of them, and then he's going to use 1 Yeti and the wizard to funnel off the top side, and then he's going to use his warden walk, obviously, on the bottom side of the base to clear out here, and then he's just going to run everything right up the middle, and he's bringing a blimp here. I wanted to show this one off because he's bringing the blimp rather than the siege barracks to funnel that top side. So on this one, he could have used the siege barracks to funnel that top side, but he brings the blimp to make sure he's going to get to the town hall, because he's not going to jump towards the town hall. He's actually going to jump towards this top compartment. You see that jump going down right there? He wants to work towards the eagle on the top side of the base and the scatter on the back end, because he's just going to run his blimp in. Now the warden ability goes ahead and saves some of those troops right there, but one thing you can do is when you're using a blimp like this and you're running it behind your kill squad, is you can run that blimp in, and right as you're about to pop that warden ability, you can use it on the blimp. That way the blimp is not going to get taken out by seeking air mine. So a little bit of a risk here from TC, but it is going to work out for him in the long run. Like I said, this clutched us up the war. This won the war. So the Yeti is coming out, and sometimes you're going to have to rage those up. Most of the times you're going to have to rage those guys up to get them through the base. And then everything else is going to kind of work through the back end. The queen is going to save this quite a bit here. And, man, like I said, TC clutched the war for us. I just noticed this little bar at the top of the screen. My bad, guys. That's probably been the whole video. That's all right. That's all right. I've already recorded the whole video. We're not going back into it. It's just, it'll be all right. Well, we're good. But like I said, hopefully you guys learned a little bit about the Yeti Smash site. The funnel is the most important thing. I've seen a lot of attacks go sideways, and if that funnel is not set right, it can cost you the raid. So I think that's the most important takeaway from this is the funnel, spell placement, and then also using your warden in crucial spots, especially like if you're diving right at the town hall, using that warden to make sure you protect those troops at the town hall. Or even on this one, I think TC would have been better served to, as he was getting ready to pop the warden ability in here, have that blimp in a little bit earlier, so when he pops the warden ability, the blimp is immortal. But a really nice attack from TC. Not our month this month. Like I said, we stayed in Champs 2. We finished 3rd place. Shout out to all my guys. Like, they did really well. We just fell a little bit short. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the Yeti Smash. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like. You guys have a great day. Keep on clash bashing.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss any future uploads of mine. And if you did happen to miss yesterday's video, you can check it out right over there.